Hello. Oh, shoot. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
there we go. All right.
Okay.
What's going on?
Not too much. I just got home last night. I was doing training all week at the beach.
Oh,
Yeah.
could be
So
worse ways to spend your week.
that's right.
You poor thing, spending the week at the beach.
No. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
What about you? How's it going?
Well, pretty good. A crazy busy week at work. So
Last night I was doing conference calls.
yeah, that's the only way to live.
I, I actually earlier today I was posting some cards on eBay, and somebody posted a Venom one on there, and somebody bid on it, and they actually reached out to me on Facebook too, asking like if I had any other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's every now and then you'll come across someone that's just like totally enamored, right? That's
yeah, and they must be a big Venom fan. So I don't know if you're on their radar, but I'm gonna have to point them in your direction.
There's one guy I met on eBay. He's not on. Actually, this guy's not on social media. The few things that I did post on eBay, he kind of ended up buying most of them.
That's funny.
So it's like, dude, just hit me up on Facebook. So I don't use Facebook. Instagram, nope. YouTube, nope. Okay.
Trying to make it hard. It's hard enough trying to keep up with all these different social media platforms ourselves, and people don't want to make it easy.
Yeah, just email me. Like, okay. Which reminds me, I should probably email him.
All right.
So what do you got going on?
I think I'm going to do another sketch card, but I'm just kind of doing some warm up right now. I might do another Venom card. Just kind of either that or Wolverine.
It's popular characters.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. No shame in that.
Nope.
I like drawing Venom though. Wolverine kind of comes and goes. Sometimes I like drawing him, sometimes I don't. How's your claim sale going? The other half of it, the non-Marvel.
Not really going.
Just the reach is different, I guess.
Yeah, I think the people that like the reach from my page within the Marvel world, it's the same guys that were in the private claim sale, or the same ladies and gentlemen from the private sale. So they kind of picked up what they wanted, but I need to really start doing a better job with my social media game. I don't post often enough.
Yeah, it's tough. I just kind of this past week was kind of dealing with that too. I'm like, on the one hand, you feel like if you post too much, you're going to annoy people. But then on the other side of it, not everybody's going to see every single post you post.
Yeah.
So, if you post 5 times about the same thing, even not the exact same post, but just like the same subject, maybe one person will see 3 out of the 5. One person might just see 1 of the 5. So
Yeah, I think where I like where it kind of falls apart for me is that I'm just not consistent.
Yeah, consistency is king.
Consistency is key. So like, the other day I posted two things. A Venom for a change and that Wolverine. And it's got great reach, great engagement with those things, but if I was doing it properly, I would have posted a lot since, right? To kind of keep the momentum going.
Right.
And the same thing with TikTok, because I don't really use TikTok, but I have some videos, so I'm like, oh, let me post them, and they get the views, and I get a bunch of new followers every time I post something. But then it's like 3 weeks later to like finally post anything else.
Yeah, that was the huge thing for me on TikTok. I had to consistently post to grow it all. And then once you get to like a certain threshold of where you have like 1,000 followers, you can start to stream. And I noticed once I was able to start streaming, that helped me grow like so much faster.
Yeah, I think that's really
Because
kind of the
they'll,
thing I need to focus on next is get that TikTok streaming permission, because then I can
yeah,
just do this and then also at the same time set up my cell phone on the other side, like over here, and run that on TikTok.
yeah.
Um,
Because I guess StreamYard you can't do on
no,
TikTok, I
StreamYard doesn't.
guess.
Yeah, they're not. TikTok doesn't have a public API. Same as Instagram doesn't. Because I did a couple of Instagram lives. I used to do them a lot a couple of years ago, and they're great. But you're locked to one audience.
Yeah.
So the reach is limited to whoever's on Instagram at that time. But I'm gonna take that footage and repurpose it for TikTok, which is what I did the last couple of times.
Yeah. The,
Just
the
really need
thing
to.
that I really like about TikTok is that when you're streaming, you have the potential of getting that stream thrown in front of random people. It's not just people that follow you. So it's,
Yeah. So based on what I've read, because very really not well versed in TikTok at all. But based on what I've read, is getting live streams is the way to go. I mean, even you're reaffirming that, saying that whenever, as soon as you got access to that, you've really saw your numbers rise. And
Mhm.
and like it's not about the count of followers, because I don't really care, right? But
Right.
it's
It's
being
it's
able
not
to.
necessarily that number.
Yeah, it's just being able to get your content. I mean, if you have 5,000 followers, like even Instagram, right? If you have 5,000 followers on Instagram, that's great. But chances are most of those followers aren't people that are going to commission you.
Mhm.
But some of them are. So when you put up a piece of content, because the Facebook algorithm is so limited, you do want to get as much of reach as possible to help amplify it so that it does get in front of as many people as possible and hopefully hit
Exactly. And
some of the
some of the
people
people
that.
that might, yeah, some people that might not commission you might share your post,
Hmm.
and that might reach somebody else that will.
Yeah, it's just a struggle.
Yeah.
That kind of goes against my whole reason of doing this, which is to unplug.
Yeah.
Right. So then it's like, now I gotta.
Well, I think that goals and things change over time too. So I mean, it can still be that, but as things grow, it changes the way you look at them too.
Yeah. So yeah, just need to reevaluate, see where I want to put the focus.
Yep. And it's you still are going to have to divide your attention different places depending on how that is. it's a pain in the butt. Like I every now and then I kind of go through that feeling too. Like, what am I doing? What should I be doing? Like, am I enjoying this? Am I doing something that I enjoy versus am I just doing this because I've gotten the habit of it? Or
Yeah. Well, I enjoy this right now, right
right.
here.
Yeah, the streams are great.
Yeah. But
And then there's also like the added part of it too. Like the more time you spend doing it, if you're able to monetize that in such a way that it's consistent, then it kind of allows you to spend more time doing it, or at least justify spending more time doing it.
yeah, that's true. That's a
Yeah.
constant battle.
Hey, but you did. I mean, your claim sale was awesome, so that should be some positive reinforcement.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that was great, great encouragement. But even with the claim sale, and then I did that giveaway in that group, and I found out a lot of people, some people that have purchased stuff from me in the past are like, oh, I had no idea this was going on. How like I didn't even know that you're doing the giveaway. I didn't know you had the claim sale.
Yeah.
Because then you're
Well,
fighting the algorithm.
that's what I was about to say. That's all in the algorithm. There's nothing else you could have done about that other than have like a mailing list.
Well, I think my takeaway from there is give it longer life. So I did like the giveaway was I ran it Friday afternoon and then closed the comments Monday midday and then did a draw later in the day. And that ended up me streaming with no audio. So I ended up giving away 2 things because that didn't seem fair. But posting them and maybe even posting teaser a lot for longer, because what I did is I posted a teaser saying, hey, the claim sale is coming, right? So everybody who saw that and engaged with it would have been notified when I posted to it,
Right.
but a lot of people didn't see it. And then when I updated the post, that's an update. It's just engagement on the post. It doesn't kick it up again because I use the same post. You're a little bit off frame, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I do that a lot. I'm really bad at that. I'll start turning my paper, shifting it around, and then next thing I know, it's like, oh, you guys didn't see anything that I just did.
And then you just bring it back into frame. It's done.
It's part of the magic.
Did Billy reach out to you?
Yeah, that's part. He did.
I don't want to gonna give anything away there. I just just curious. Guess I could have
So I'm
asked
assuming
you.
he's talked to you as well.
Yeah, I gave him a list of people to ask.
I've actually done some similar stuff in the past, so that's pretty cool. But if take it if he's talked to you and you're on board with it, then that that's a good endorsement for me.
Yeah, I'm totally on board. But we'll let him let the cat out of the bag when he's ready on that. So I'm still I'm using the inclined board.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm really struggling with drawing and painting detail. I don't know if it's the board itself or having the camera sitting in my face.
Do you feel like you can't get like the angle that you're used to when you're getting real
Yeah,
down?
yeah. So I don't know. Might need to stop it, but being hunched over the art is really hurting my back and my neck.
Yeah.
I'll still give it a chance, but like even doing this, I don't feel
Yeah.
like
So
the control that I normally
yeah, I
would.
know I'm gonna have to go through all that too whenever I adjust my desk. But I think I told you before, like I've got one of those that the desk adjusts like that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking into getting like another smaller, just like an L-shaped desk to put in the corner behind me, so I can kind of move some of the stuff off of this desk and like put markers and stuff over on that other one, and the
Hmm.
computer over on the other one, so then I can just adjust this one because you're right, like the back and neck pain is killer. So that's my plan is, hopefully I don't know exactly what this whatever I'm getting from Upper Deck pretty soon. Hopefully it covers that desk. So that's what I'm planning to use it for.
It's answering a comment. Okay. Somebody sent me a message pointing out that her her left arm is nerfed. Kind of stubby, really stubby arm here,
Uh,
right?
well, what are you going to do? How do you fix that? I'm
Well,
curious.
it's not that. It's supposed to be her arm's supposed to be bent facing you like this
Uh,
because the elbows. Yeah, I got the elbow right. There's the elbow here, but her arm's actually bent coming towards the viewer. So I need to fix the foreshortening.
foreshortening is such a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll come back to that.
That's one of those things sometimes like that just melts my brain. Like you remember when I was talking about that the Grandmaster thing for a while and I was trying to figure that out, and that I just kind of decided to, instead of killing myself trying to get that just right, just changed everything
Yeah.
to make it easier.
Hey, Rich. Yeah, so Rich says he's now watching you guys the way Gordon just stopped the card to figure out what he was doing on another piece of paper, then mimicked it back on the card is awesome.
Thanks for Rich. Yeah, I don't know how many people do that or don't do that, but most of the time, I usually at least sketch out my ideas on paper before I do it on the cards.
Yeah, I didn't do it on this one. I usually do a larger prelim,
Yeah,
kind of the rough pencils, and then transfer it to the card. This one I kind of drew right on the card.
now that's confidence.
And sure enough, I messed something up. I mean, aside from this, I think it's fine. But I don't know if I'll be able to fix this.
Yeah, I'm not even really sure how I would do that. So I probably would have done a different pose just because I couldn't pull it off.
Things that you get stuck in your own head,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you explain to yourself, yeah, no, it's fine. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. And then kind of get away from it. But yeah, I don't know if I can fix this.
Well, yeah, because the only thing I would think is you would just move the hand, kind of put it further in front of the forearm, but I don't even know.
Well, do I have a piece of acetate? One sec. Move to something else. If this isn't working, can I see through this? Nope.
Is this for a commission or is it for fun?
Commission.
Yeah, working on a card is different than working on the paper because you kind of you don't give yourself boundaries as much on the paper. Like when I traced this out and sketched it, I didn't have to cut off at the edges. I just kept drawing. And so like once you then try and like reformat it for the card, it sometimes can get a little trickier. I was responding to Rich's comment in case that didn't make really any sense when I started.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, so yeah, no, that elbow should be there.
We need to get some of Warner's figures.
You know, so I did get one of them, but it ended up being a cheap Chinese knockoff, and it was a piece of shit.
Where'd you order it from?
Amazon.
Yeah, me too. I was worried that was going to happen to me because when I got mine a couple years ago, the comments were full of that, like about it not being legit. But I think the one that I got was okay.
Oh, I returned it right away, but I was pissed. I mean, I should have known that getting two of them for $30 shipped was not.
Yeah, I think
Not
I think
legit.
I think I ended up paying like 60 for one.
Yeah, that seems more like it. Yeah, okay. See, to fix this, I don't have enough card. Because their arm would need to come here. So I can have her arm go off card.
Best of both worlds.
Hey, she spins over on YouTube. Okay, yeah. That's the only way that's going to work. The lesson here, kids, is don't rush. I could have fixed this a lot easier on the pencils, but I already glazed it. All right. I'll set that aside.
So
that out later.
I bought a 96 pack of Crayola crayons.
Oh, you went all out, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted to get the one with
Harold.
No, okay. So Harold actually, well, he didn't tell me this, but I think Harold started doing that because of a video I shared with him. There's this guy on TikTok that I came across who was doing some stuff with Crayolas, and he had this Daredevil piece that looked awesome. It looked like it was like out of a children's book. It just looked like it was like an illustration kind of thing from a children's book. It looked really cool. So I sent it to him and I sent it to Paul. And when I was at the beach this past week, we were at Target at one point, and a lot of the school supplies were on sale. It's like, I'm going to get a big ass thing of Crayola crayons. And so my next step is I'm going to go to the YouTube and figure out how these wizards do that stuff, because it was awesome.
It's a nice texture.
Yeah. I'll whenever I get off of here, I'll go find that video and I'll send it to YouTube so you can see what I'm talking about. But it was neat.
Yeah, I mean, just further reinforces the concept that the materials don't matter so much.
Yep, definitely. And there's actually another guy on Instagram I follow. His name's Scoot or something. He does a bunch of Crayola stuff too, and it's like superhero stuff. It looks really cool. But it's just kind of like amazing to see the art look like that. And then I try and do something with my crayons, and I'm like, what? How the hell does he do that? But yeah, I figured I would jump on it and try it out too, because it's like it's a cheap experiment.
Oh yeah. I think tonight, speaking of cheap experiments, or this is not a cheap experiment, I think tonight I'm going to bust out the airbrush and see how that.
Oh, airbrush. Now that's fancy.
Yeah.
Is that what Bianca does?
Yeah, Bianca airbrushes. So I want airbrushing to give me the tones, the base tones. Because my struggle is always getting the initial, well, not struggle, like I find spending a lot of time getting the initial flats down and trying to get them smooth. So I tried the marker route, and I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, because you don't get the transparency. Or you don't get as much transparency as you want. So I tried watercolor, and then it's the same challenge as acrylic, because you're still dealing with paint and trying to get even coverage and all that jazz. Okay, this is not working for me. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to try airbrush, because that seems to give you even coverage. I'll find a way to mess that up too, but
hey, it's easy to mess stuff up.
oh yeah, it's easy, super easy.
I really hate this card.
This color?
No, this card that I'm doing right now, I hate it.
Why?
I'm thinking of stopping. I just don't really like the pose or anything. Oh, didn't really come out the way that I was hoping it would.
All right, it's a communal fuck up Friday.
There you go. Yeah, I'm knocking some rust off, and it's not going well.
So I've been working. Rich likes it. I've been working on 11 by 17 that I'll probably work on Sunday if I stream. which is a big change to work that big. And I mean, it took a bit of getting used to. Been working on it in the evenings pretty much every day this week. So it took a little bit of getting used to, but now I'm finally in that working larger mind space. And then, sure enough, I got to do sketch cards. It's like, I'm gonna make this work now.
So is 11 by 17, is that comic size?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually 12 by 19, but it's 12 by 19 paper with my tape on it, so it's whatever size that ends up being. More or less the same aspect ratio as cover size, right?
Well, that's awesome. I'm afraid to do that.
I was so nervous. I got to tell you, I was so nervous working that big. Now, it's not the most complicated piece, so it's kind of okay. But actually, another reason why I'm hoping I can wrap my head around an airbrush really quick, because I got to do a really large coverage area, and I'm not keen on trying to paint that to get it even.
Yeah. It's funny. That is a large area.
Yeah. Do I have a compass? I don't. Okay, let's go ghetto. We're gonna be ghetto tonight.
I need to get a compass. I was just thinking about that the other day. Somebody posted like a picture of all their tools they were using. I have like these circle stencils, but nothing beats a compass.
No, because even the circled stencils, you're kind of limited to the circles in the stencil.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, more often than not, you need a circle that's a little bigger or a little smaller.
It's always how it works out.
It's like, shit. But the thing with a compass is you punch the hole in the paper, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I didn't think of that.
So
It's
what
been a
I
long time.
when I use a compass, I put like 6 layers of masking tape where the hole's going to be.
That's a good idea. So
And
it
I
just
just
kind
try
of
not to.
collides on the paper.
Yeah, well, the pin's going to go on the masking tape. Know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
it'll
so
just sit
instead of
on the
punching in the
masking tape.
paper, yeah, you're sticking the masking tape. I mean, you might still go through, but it's not going to punch a full hole. Okay, where's my sharpener? The sharper pencil here.
Yeah, I decided for the eBay thing to post some other like more popular characters this batch because I posted all those Ninja Turtle cards like a week ago before I left, and I didn't get a single bid on any of them. So I figured,
Is that over?
yeah, they ended today at
Oh,
12:15.
that's weird.
So yeah, one of them got like 40 something views, but none of them had any watchers on them. And the ones that I posted today, they've already, you know, 2 of them already have watchers, and they're both almost up to 20 views, and they've only been up for, like 4 hours. So
Venom, Spider-Man,
guess it
Iron Man. All right, that's where it's at. You there? I think we might have lost him. Man down. Gordon, you okay? Okay, not sure what happened to him. Hope he's okay. All right, I'm just gonna take him out for now. Looks like his connection's being. Oh, maybe not. Just give him a minute. All right. Well, this awkward silence is brought to you by Fridays. Because why not? Yeah, I think his connection dropped because he just disappeared off the stream. Okay. Round 2. Nope. Doesn't look like he's got video. Yeah, well, hopefully Gordon can come back on. In the meantime, I'm going to look up some Kirby Crackle. I think my surfer needs a little Kirby Crackle right here. And where's my blue pencil? Let's try this again. You back?
Yeah, I think so. My audio went away. Like I could still, so I've got it pulled up on my Surface Pro, so I'm watching it. But on my phone, it was just they were both spinning, so nothing was on there, but it was still going. So I don't know what happened.
No. All right. Well, glad to have you back. Glad everything's okay.
And this definitely is a fuck up Friday.
I
don't really like this Venom card. I'm gonna have to do something else. This is not working for me.
Yeah, I know the feeling. They can't all be bangers. I think one of the biggest challenges or hurdles artists need to face is knowing when it's just not worth it. Right?
Yeah, like when it's, not everything has to be finished. Not everything has to be. You don't have to finish everything, and sometimes it's just not working.
Yeah, it's not working. It's not coming together the way you want it, and instead of spending the time trying to fix it, scrap it and start over. But I think a lot of the time it's in your head, because it's just not coming together the way you wanted it to look, though it does end up looking good anyways.
Maybe I shouldn't have done Venom. Maybe he's giving me trouble.
Do Carnage. Keep it in the same family. She's just black.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run into the same issues with Carnage,
All right. Why don't you draw me an owl?
but I'll give it a try.
You do an owl?
Still waiting for that Friday stream. We're all gonna show everybody how to draw an owl.
Yeah, you could do it now.
I'm done. Draw the owl. Draw the fucking owl.
One thing that I want to do, but I gotta check with Warner if he wants to be in on it. Where the hell did I put it? Well, he said I can use this. So Deadpool doing something stupid. People like old Deadpool. There you go. So this is Warner. Picture he sent me because he has a little curl there when he cut his hair. Just a stupid picture. But I said, I'm going to use this for reference for Thanos. And he said, cool.
Nice.
So,
nice.
but what I want to do, and I was kind of debating doing it, is doing it on a live stream, is talk about using photo reference for lighting and form, not for photorealism. Right? Like I'm not going to draw Warner as Thanos. I'm just going to use the expression and the lighting for Thanos.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like it's a teachable thing, and it's a great way to use reference.
Yeah, and that's how I use reference for when I'll use stock or pictures that I've purchased or pictures that I took. And then sometimes it sort of looks like the person, but it's not meant to look like the person. It's just kind of the way it happens. But using the photo for lighting reference is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about him using those figures, was being able to have that lighting reference and everything. It looked awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, I actually, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it was months ago at this point, but I did a stream, and it was kind of like a teaching thing, I guess, for other artists on TikTok. And I was basically going through like how I would use reference photos. So like I was looking up like MMA photos and stuff, and I was showing them like, so like, don't try and draw every line that you see. Use it, to pick up the form and everything else in the pose and everything. And I took like an MMA fight scene, some guy was throwing a punch, and I turned it into Daredevil. But it's like a lot of people think using reference is like some kind of like dirty word, like you're just copying something, but it goes a lot deeper than
that. Yeah, I mean, you can use reference in so many different ways, right? But it doesn't need to be a tracing. And Rich says that he used a real photo for the card I'm doing for that exact reason. Shadow, light, structural, that worked out pretty well. And it does work out really well. I mean, nobody knows how to do the lighting off the top of their head for every single scenario, every single shape, head, the environment, texture, whatever. Now, there's certain things and certain scenarios that you just do so much that you just know, right? Which comes out of like muscle memory. But, gotta use reference if you want to get things looking real.
Yeah, you have to build up that muscle memory first before you can just use it.
Yeah, but I think what's important is, and this is why I wanted to just check with Warner, maybe he wants to be on that stream as well, considering that it's going to be him as the reference, is that you need to understand how the face is structured, right? Or, basic anatomy of how an arm is structured, muscle structure, and so on, in order to be able to modify it, and either whether you stylize it or try to keep it with realistic proportions doesn't really matter, but you still need to have an understanding of what's happening underneath for you to be able to warp it, right?
It's like what they always say: before you break the rules, you got to know the rules.
Yeah. Like, that's what, this is the unpopular opinion. This is what kills me about anime artists on social media. I'm going to go into a rant.
Go for it.
Where, for the most part, it's the same face. I mean, I'm not talking about like professional people, like professional anime people. I'm talking about people that all they do is draw Dragon Balls and Sailor Moon and Pokemon, but they're just drawing the existing poses, existing expressions, existing anatomy.
Oh yeah, they're not learn other than like one thing that they can repeat over and over.
Yeah, which is a great, great argument for muscle memory. Draw Goku 50 times in a row, and then, like, from looking at a drawing of Goku, and then you'll be able to draw that Goku over and over again. But if you understand how the hair is structured and how the proportions of the face relate in that Goku, in that Dragon Ball style, then you can draw anyone, right, in whatever position, shape, angle, lighting schema you want. And Rich says he has a hard time with lighting. I took an arc. It's a long comment. Just put it on the screen.
Yeah, I don't want to go on a rant about it either, but that's like one of the things that, and right, it's not professionals, but it's like the people like who draw anime or whatever. The thing that is very easy to notice early on, you see enough of these pictures, you've seen them all, because they're all drawing from the exact same references, and they're just drawing that reference. They're not, a lot of them are not, kind of like you said, they're not drawing different things. They're just drawing a reference picture that they saw.
Yeah, they're drawing, I'm just going to use Dragon Balls because that's pretty much the only anime I know. Like Goku happy, Goku going white hair mode, was a Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, yeah.
Super Saiyan. I mean, you see the same. I don't watch this stuff, man. I never really got into anime. But it's the same thing, right? Like, you go on Instagram and do hashtag Super Saiyan, and every third thing's going to be the same picture.
Yeah.
Done in crayon or pencil or white paper, brown paper with.
Right. So different mediums, but it's still the same image. They're just drawing the same image and maybe coloring it a different way. But yeah, that so when people would request me to like draw those characters when I was doing all that stuff on TikTok, it never failed. Anytime I drew like a Dragon Ball character, there would be a segment of people that complained saying, "Oh, that's not such and such." And I'm like, "Well, actually it is. I just drew it in the style that I wanted to, not what you were expecting to see." And that's part of like the problem I have with it is, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. They can do whatever they want, but I just find it really boring because it's drawing the same thing. But yeah, it's just, whatever. It's, if you want to grow, you have to like get outside of just drawing those same things.
And I understand art teachers saying, don't draw anime, don't draw cartoons, don't draw comics. And I understand it to a certain degree. I just don't agree with them not explaining why. Right? Because nobody ever tells you why drawing.
Well, I would assume it's because they want you to learn how to draw from life and be able to, know how the body moves and stuff like that, instead of just drawing from
Well,
other
drawing
people's art.
somebody
But
else's exactly where what you're practicing is line weight and shape, but not structure. And this is where, like, I think that, like, remember when I was in school and I was drawing comic book stuff, and I wasn't drawing out of comic books, but I was drawing superheroes.
mm,
And they're like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that." I was like, "But this is what I like to draw." When in reality, they should have said you should. They should have explained how to grow drawing that content, right? Do a go to life drawing class where there's a muscular person, and do a life drawing study of a muscular person, then wrap the Daredevil costume on it or something like that. Because then, I think, from an educational point of view, you're making it easier for the student to learn, but also draw stuff they enjoy. I mean, I've talked about the
yeah,
whole painting thing, and like I don't want to take painting classes at a gallery or anything like that because I don't want to draw pears and potatoes.
yeah,
So, though I'm sure I would have figured out a lot of the painting stuff a lot quicker that way, but I'm hard headed. Rich says, Gordon, you could make a Spidey card to go between Venom and Carnage, and you'll have a sweet puzzle going on. There you go.
could. A good
Hey,
idea.
Jamie.
But
Jamie says
I
hello.
think, what's up, Jamie? I think the problem with that is like I have a hard time visualizing the puzzle card after I've already started. So I would kind of have to do that before I work out what I
We'll
was going to
squeeze him
do.
in there. Squeeze in. Good old Spidey.
But I like you. I don't think I would enjoy like doing life drawing classes, stuff like that, because like it's not really stuff that I want to draw. I do have anatomy books and stuff like that, but like one of the things that it's not the same, but something that kind of helps me get around that a little bit is that I collect other artists' sketchbooks, and a lot of time they have stuff breaking down the structure and like doing stuff like that where they're drawing from life or from reference photo of just like somebody in a yoga class or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's not exactly the same, but you're still learning some of the same kind of concepts, like how the body's moving and stuff.
Don't get me wrong, life drawing I think is fantastic. It's a great thing, and I used to do a lot of life drawing when I was in school, because it helps you figure out some of the trouble, like some of the troubleshooting around the human form as you're drawing and trying to figure out what connects to what and kind of what lines matter. I mean, I found from life drawing doing the like 60-second gestures to be the best, because you only have 60 seconds to capture the form. You don't get stuck in the detail and what do the abs look like or the proportions. You're just really trying to capture the form within 60 seconds. And I think that's the kind of stuff that really, really helps. Using other artist sketchbooks and examples and photos and stuff like that totally works as well. But I think you flex a different muscle when you do it hands-on. That, or maybe it's a little faster when you're learning it hands-on versus from somebody else's approach.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you got to go to a life drawing class, and you never know what kind of model you're going to get. And sometimes you're not going to want to draw what's in front of you. And then sometimes you're sitting behind, sometimes you're sitting in the front, and there's bending over, and it gets really awkward sometimes. Sometimes it's really cold, sometimes it's really hot.
Oh, man. So that's one of the reasons why I love looking at Sean Galloway's stuff when he posts his sketches from reference, because he kind of goes all over the place with like figures and stuff. I mean, I'm not, he ain't drawing people bending over, but he doesn't stick to like one. He's not drawing just like superhero bodies. He's doing like everything, and then he'll like do he'll draw from whatever he's looking at, but then he kind of converts that into like what he would do. So he like starts with one and kind of it's like a process of getting to where his final, whatever his final ending is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really wish I had.
you just unlocked some visuals that I did not want to think about.
There you go. That's what you get for going to the beach. I want to throw a planet behind him, but I'm not sure where. Maybe here. Maybe here.
Is that the exact size you were looking for? Or are you just going with what you got?
I'm going with what I got.
Yep.
The inner circle, not the outer circle. Trying to figure out if I put a planet here, it can unify everything, but then where is he coming from? Because the perspective's this way. If I put a planet here, then I have circles on top of circles. So I'm kind of talking this through.
And
I'll
you
leave
get
it
a
to the
planet.
panel.
And you get
Get a planet. Everybody gets a planet. Let's bring it up to the panel. Someone in the comments tell me, where do you think I should put a planet? Here? Or here?
That might be a good spot. I don't know.
Can't even see it on the video.
Oh,
Put a planet
man.
Here or put a planet here. Oh, so you are doing Carnage. Or
Yeah,
not put a planet
you
at all.
talked me into it.
Peer pressure's a bitch, yo. Or put a planet right in the
Venom wasn't working, so I had to switch it up. And my marker started crying. I need to refill it. All right, everybody, I'm going to show y'all how I refill a Copic marker.
All right. You don't use gloves?
Get the little tube with the ink refill. I don't what?
You don't use gloves?
No, I don't. Should I?
I have no idea. The hell do I know about Copics?
I don't care about it getting in my skin a little bit. I'm not really worried about that. Getting all over the marker. I'm not a neat freak with my markers. I guess I should be. They'll last longer.
Maybe I put a planet here.
I do need to replace some of the nibs on these, though. They're getting a little worn out.
You can replace the nibs too, right?
I'll zoom this in a little bit. Yeah, you can.
Nobody spoke up, so putting the planet there. So how do you replace the nib? You just pull out the old one and jam in a new one?
Yeah, you just jam it in there. I've actually never replaced one of the brush tips, so I'm not sure about the brush tip. They do have some kind of tool that's like a tweezer thing that
I think you should just
I think will help
go
you.
wild and use your teeth.
Yeah, the chisel tip's a little easier to pull out. If you were wondering.
Good to know.
Yeah, because that's the end that I pop out to refill them. And they made the ink refills a different shape now. They have like this long nose, I guess that's what you would call it. I don't know. It used to be a little shorter, but now you can kind of just jam them inside the marker.
It sounds very.
So it keeps it a little cleaner.
It sounds very erotic.
But they don't hold as much ink anymore. They made them slimmer and smaller.
This is the refill kits?
So they're not as big as they used to be.
You mean you talked about the refill kits, right?
Yeah, they yes,
Are they the same price?
yeah, they're still they did lower the price of them a little bit. No, they're a little bit less, but I don't think they lowered them to like be about the same as what they were. I think they increased them based on volume, but the actual like unit price is less.
Mm. Just trying to make a buck.
Oh, now I'm back, but I don't see you.
Oh, what? Yeah,
Okay,
you went all
there we go.
pixelated. Yeah. Move your
Yeah,
hand
did it
in front of
again.
the
I wonder
camera.
if
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, you're good.
yeah, it did what it did last time, but it didn't last as long.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if it's just getting hot, and I'm still using that old phone, so this is really the first time I've had any issues since I've started using it.
I used to, when I was using my phone, I'd go all stupid whenever I get a text message.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the thing that sucks about this is it's still like linked to whatever my phone is, like my service. So even though it's my old phone, I'm still getting like notifications and stuff on it.
Oh,
But I have it on airplane mode, hoping that that would help. But it's on Wi-Fi, so it's still going to get all the notifications.
oh, do you have Do Not Disturb on that model?
Ooh, that's a good idea. I probably need to look at
That's
that.
what I did, because then that way all the notifications are muted.
That's a good idea. I'll do that for next time. Carnage.
Let there be blood and carnage.
When I introduced my son to like the 19, I think it's 96 Spider-Man series on Disney Plus, I showed him the episode where Carnage shows up,
Mhm.
and he was putting it together, but he didn't really understand like what was happening. So instead of calling him Carnage, he used to call him Red Venom. It was
Fair
really
enough.
funny. Yeah, I used to love it, Red Venom. And he couldn't really say Venom at the time. He said it with a D, so it was Venom. So it's Venom and Red Venom.
It works.
Yep. Don't know that I'm gonna be taking him to see the new Venom movie though.
It might not be for little kids.
Nope.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can fuck this up too. Hope your son's not watching.
Nah, he's downstairs probably playing the Switch. I told him I was gonna be streaming for a little bit and then start working on dinner when we're done. They don't care. My wife is still at the beach. So we went down there last weekend for my thing, and then she had some friends that went down there at the end of the week. So she stayed down she's gonna be there for a couple more days.
Oh, okay, so you're like playing daddy daycare all weekend?
That's right. That's right. They're pretty self-sufficient though, for the most part. So, I got to make sure they eat and practice hygiene. And other than that, make sure they don't watch too much TV. Man, these markers are loud.
Squeak, 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 squeak. All right, let's see. If I fuck this up, I think I'm gonna quit for the weekend.
Sometimes it's one of those days,
Okay, I think we're getting proper coverage now. I'm really bummed about the Psylocke though.
What?
I'm really bummed about the Psylocke.
Yeah.
I was like, oh sweet, I got a little time. I can get this commission started early. Nope. Start over.
Like, did you get that pose approved, or could you change it and like black something out?
No, he went blind.
Okay.
It was like, I trust you. I'm like, okay, well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You kind of reminded me on Deadpool, whenever year that was, 2018 or whatever year that set came out. I did a Boom Boom card
Boom, boom.
from X Force.
Yeah, I just like saying boom,
And
boom.
yeah. And so I did some like jacked up pose with one of her hands. Like I had her holding like one of her whatever her, I don't remember what her mutant power is, but whatever, she was holding something like an orb or something. And I didn't, before I started inking it, I guess I didn't take another look at it, and it looked terrible. I was like, what the hell did I do? It was awful. And I was like, I've already inked it, so I can't redo it. And so what I ended up doing was I blacked out that whole part of the card where her arm was and just made it like her arm was not sticking up, like holding something.
Oh.
And if you look really closely at it, you can see like the lines, the indentions of like the pencil or whatever
Where the old shape
where
was?
it was. Yeah, but it was yeah, it was something.
I think it was in Avengers. Infinity War. There was one that I had like almost like 90% done. Like full thick paint. And I did not like it at all. Right. So I just covered the whole thing in black and painted something completely different over it. I can't remember what it was. But that's a thick ass card.
Didn't you do that on one of your Black Panther cards too?
I did with the
For like the
Vulture, but
Magneto. Oh, Vulture. That's right.
the Vulture, but that one I just added the Magneto costume on top of it because it's kept the same head, right? It's the same face, but kind of threw the helmet on top and the cape and brought up the contrast. So it's still the same expression and the same pose. But this was like a guy, I think it was Adam Warlock. And then ended up being something else, or ended up being Adam Warlock. But yeah.
That's funny. You know, some of these cards have some really interesting stories that people will never hear and never know about when they're looking at them.
No, like, oh, here's the final product. It's like, really? I bled all over this thing because I cut myself with the X-Acto knife and then covered it in paint. And you see that red dot? That's not paint, that's blood. And if you wonder how I got that fur texture, that's real fur in that.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But going back to what we were saying before, sometimes you just scrap something because it's not coming out the way you want it in your head. But then somebody that's looking at it at the final product, they don't know. They don't know what you meant, what it meant to look like, or that it didn't come out the way you wanted it. They're just looking at the final result and it looks good. Like
True.
your Carnage there. No one's going to know that was supposed to be Deadpool. But that Carnage did come out sick.
The background what?
And I said that Carnage did come out really well.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy about Carnage, you know, considering where Venom was and the things Venom was making me want to do. So I'm gonna have to come back to Venom at a different time and do a Venom card to go along with this one, and then maybe a Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, and just time together with the purple backgrounds.
Yeah. Definitely. And add a little bit of like a very light blue color to his eyes a little bit too.
Yeah, I was gonna question your choice of using the orange, but I see what you did.
Oh, on the outside?
Yeah, when you were doing his kind of the base color on him.
Yeah. I do that a lot with Spider-Man too. Like I put orange in there, and it always does look really weird at first,
Yeah, I
but it
understand why
kind
you're
of
doing it. It just I work the other way around,
yeah.
right? So this is why me and markers don't get along. Because I can't wrap my hand around it. And it's like, oh, I'm just going to add a little yellow on top of this black, and it's still black.
Yeah. And like if I was doing this digitally or something like that, I would have done it the opposite. I would have just done that orange at the end and kind of had it layered on top, just a little glow or something.
Yeah, like I work spot color, right, or whatever the main flat color, and then add shadows and highlights. Or if I do an underpainting like this one, the shadows are there, but I'm just going to do the kind of the main color, and then build it up or lighten it or darken it. I guess you can't do that with markers,
Nope.
or watercolor, just I found out the other day.
I bought some blue and some black ink a while back, and I was telling myself that I was gonna practice doing some like ink wash stuff, and I have not gotten to it yet.
You should. It's fun. I did one. I didn't post it, but I did a Magneto portrait. I think Matt. It was for Matt, so I think he posted in the group. But it was just loose ink wash. It was really fun to do.
It does. It looks really cool. Like I love the look of it, and I guess it's just like watercolor or similar technique
Yeah, because
wise.
you need to work light to dark, but I mean, you can always put in white ink if you need to highlight something. But you can
Yeah.
also, this on my limited exposure to it, you can also really work it into like out of that kind of sketchy loose feel. If you just keep on adding layers, you can definitely make it more refined. Just keep on building it, right?
Yeah. That's what seeing a bunch of like Derek Loffman's ink wash stuff is really kind of what got me interested at first. And then there's this other guy, I think his name is Luke Gabriel, maybe on Instagram, and he does a lot of like Disney stuff, Disney sketches, but he does like some ink wash stuff. He's done some cool stuff. Like he did a bunch of blue ones. It looked really cool.
Well, look at Simone Bianchi, right? He does ink underpaintings for every like the ink washes. That's his
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah.
So how do you layer on top of that? Like, what do you do after you do like the ink wash and do the values and everything? Do you just layer color on top of it, or?
Yeah, you just glaze on top, right?
Okay.
Whether water or medium, doesn't matter.
But
Also,
but will the water not like react to the ink wash
well, it
when you?
depends on what kind of ink you're using, right?
Oh, okay.
Don't use water soluble ink.
Hmm.
Like if you use acrylic ink, for example, right? Like even the Speedball black ink, this stuff. I think kind of the cheapest stuff you get at Michael's.
I'm getting ready to see what I got here. So, India ink for calligraphy, airbrush, and pens.
Speedball?
Well, it's not Speedball, but it's the Dr. Martens.
Yeah, that's not water based.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, easy enough to find out. Just do a line, let it dry, and then
Yeah.
put
So
on
what
it.
you're
See what
what you're
happens.
telling me is I could do like a ink wash with like the values and everything, and just get some like watercolor and just go over the top of it with just
Mhm.
like one layer, and it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
experiment with that.
Or Copics.
Ooh,
Some
that's
of the ones
something
that,
I didn't even think of.
like I see a lot of people doing the values in Copic grays, right?
Yeah.
And then you do the colors on top of it.
Uh huh.
You can do the same thing in paint. away in ink.
Hmm.
Right? Or even if you do it in pencil, the only thing with pencil is you need to seal the pencil before you go on top, because graphite's going to blow. Graphite's not going to be good for you.
Hmm.
That's going to cause some
Okay.
problems, right?
Yeah. So it looks like a lot of people too will just do the, just like use the brush pens or ink pens or whatever on top too after. Like, so what do you put the pencil down first, and then you do the ink wash, and then you do everything else on top of it, I guess?
Yeah.
That's the order of operations.
Yeah, that seems to be the way to do it.
Man, I can't wait to F shit up with that. I'm gonna start real simple.
Do it now.
I might actually tonight. We'll see. I might get into it tonight. I need to clean up my desk though before I start breaking out all kind of other new supplies. Oh man. All right, this carnage I think is done. Let me add a little bit more black to his fingers.
Okay. See, the other thing that I'm struggling with the stupid stand is that if I put pressure on it, it slides away. I need to put something behind it or tape it to the table.
Is this a commission too, or is this something that could be?
This is a commission in the making.
Oh, okay. Man, busy, busy, busy.
Maybe I'll try the airbrush on this.
I'm gonna show. I don't know. I'm really probably not allowed to show this stuff. I'll show you a little preview of some of my Ultraman cards from this wave. I've got to finish these and get them shipped out, but I had a little bit more success this time around trying to.
Oh, because I wanted more kaijus, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of. The reason I shied away from them the first round was trying to stylize them was tough, and so I tried to do a little more. With some of the characters, it was a little easier than others. But still,
the first one's really cute.
It's cute. I like how you said that.
No, he's cute. Oh my god, that's so cute.
But yeah, so I tried to kind of push myself a little bit more, trying to get out of comfort zones. I still have 5 blank ones, and I need to get them done this weekend. So it's actually probably a good thing that my wife is still at the beach.
A little peace and quiet. You get some work done.
Yeah, nobody gets mad at me then I'm attached to the desk. My kids don't care. They don't care what I'm doing. They're saying, whatever, Dad, whatever.
What time is it? 6:30 almost. Okay. Gotta wrap it up soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. They're kind of going to start getting hungry soon.
Jeez, they got bed too. It's like
yeah, I know. I got to go put my apron on and get to work. Work out some ideas for the Spider-Man car that I'm going to put as part of this puzzle. Not really a puzzle, yeah.
Do you follow David Finch on anything?
You know, I don't, but I should, because people would tell me all the time about like his live paintings are awesome. that he does, and I really do. I mean, I like his art. You know, it's not anything close to like the style that I draw in now, but I read some of his when he was working on Moon Knight back however long ago that was, and I really liked his art.
Yeah, his art's great. Um, what I was gonna say, like he's been doing these acrylic paintings, and he's doing the pencil under drawing and things like that, which is really, I mean, it's not Ariel Olivetti's like patented technique because he didn't invent it, but that's what he does and that's what he's known for. Um, but anyways, this last Sunday they actually had Ariel on, demonstrating the technique, and man, he's in like hyperspeed. Remember that he
That's
doesn't really
crazy.
speak English, so he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna. There's somebody translating because he's
That's
speaks
wild.
Spanish. But yeah, look it up. It's the Bane one.
Okay.
And an hour into the stream, I was watching it on Sunday. An hour into the stream, and Ariel's like pretty much done. He's doing veins, and then David is kind of he's trying to keep up in terms of technique, but he's not getting the coverage. So he's got like half a head done and like two fingers, and then there's another guy, I can't remember his name, who's a comic artist as well, but he's not as established, and and he's like 3 hours behind, right? It's like there's no way you can keep up with him. But
That's
what was it?
hilarious.
Yeah, but what was interesting there is that the technique that Olivetti showed, and he's got a course on domestica.org or .com or whatever, is to do all the tones in pencil, in black pencil, right? And then you glaze on top of it and build up the colors over the determined values. And that's a technique that David Finch and this guy, I think his name's Derek, they've been demoing for the last little while on all these paintings, and they're fantastic. And then, sure enough, Ariel comes in this week to demo this technique, and he's like, "Yeah, this time instead of using pencil, I used ink." So he just did like an ink wash, and it just blows David Finch's mind because he's an inker. Like he really works in the blacks. Like I could have done all of this in ink. Yes, instead of
That's
shading it in a
awesome.
black pencil, is great. But yeah, they're very, very educational things, and I find whether it's within your style or not, like I like David Finch's stuff, but I don't draw in that style, right? Like that high dramatic black contrast.
Mhm.
But you can pick up so much from him from just general approach and how to look at form and everything, which applies to any technique and any style.
Yeah.
Oh, but I remember why I said the David Finch thing. So Ariel, being like the professional that he is, and just like a total master of his craft, he's painting, and just pulls out the blow dryer. Right, doesn't mute himself. Nothing. It's like, oh look, he learned from Warner.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he must have watched one of Warner's videos. He's got a big old hair dryer too. It's not like Warner's little Hello Kitty one. It's just like industrial strength, salon style.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And I can imagine the guy hosting the video saying, like, I'm not telling Olivetti to mute himself. We'll just
Heck
sit here and
no.
listen to the blow dryer.
Honestly, there might be some people watching. They're like, "Man, I should be doing that."
I did buy a hair dryer, not because of that, but I did finally buy a hair dryer, which it was for the big piece I'm working on. And I gotta tell you, does it does help. You don't have to wait for stuff to dry. You can just
Time is money.
time is money. But of course, me being me, I didn't read the manual, and it's got, where did my cat go? It's got the two switches and a button on the trigger. And I didn't even look at the icon, so I figured, oh, the trigger the trigger button must be like super hot, right? So I turn it on and there's hot air, and then I start putting it over the piece, and I press the trigger. And I keep on going, keep on going. I'm like, this isn't really drying, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe it's really wet. So I move on to something else, and so that was Monday. And then Tuesday, I start doing it again. I press the trigger. I'm like, look, this hairdryer is not working. So then I look at the trigger icon, and it's the cooling button. So whenever you pull the trigger, it turns off the heat, and it's just a fan. Just read the manual, dude.
It wasn't doing nothing, but it was doing almost nothing.
Yeah, I could have just gone right. Same thing. It's not helping.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, like okay, I'm just a tool. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just feel defeated.
Yeah, I guess. Honestly, who reads the manual for a hairdryer or blow dryer or whatever?
Yeah, I can tell you probably with almost 100% certainty that I don't think my wife has ever read the manual for a hairdryer. All right, Carnage.
I like that Spidey. That's gonna work.
Thanks. I'm trying to this arm. There's still something a little bit off about the arm. He's got bent right there. I may straighten it out, but I do kind of like that.
The elbow's in the wrong place. I think that's the problem.
Definitely looks wrong, and I think it also just it doesn't look. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a picture. I think.
Flip it over.
Yeah. But I may just straighten it out too. That'd make it easier. That's cheating.
Well, nobody knows what it was supposed to look like.
True.
That's the last thing I'm gonna do here. Where's my black pencil? Gray, white. Where's the black pencil? Where is it, Gordon?
Look where you wouldn't expect it. That's where it's going to be. Probably right in front of you. That's how it always happens. You put something down and it rolls like 10 feet away from you, never to be seen again.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's not sharp. Where's a sharp black pencil? Yeah, good enough.
All right. I think I'm going to call it. I think this is as far as I'm going to get with this Spider-Man right now. I'm kind of maybe work on him a little bit later tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up too because I haven't decided how I'm going to actually render this.
I've actually got some watercolor paper too that I bought a long time ago that I think I am going to maybe get into that a little bit tonight if I can clean up a little bit.
Yeah, if you're going to use ink, if you're going to do ink washes, use watercolor paper or acrylic paper, something with some thickness to it.
Yeah, I'm going to try some. I'm going to start out simple with something just not too detailed. Just try and get something on paper and see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be a shit show like the Venom earlier, but got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Come on, Andre. Call it. No, I'm starting to get into it. It's like, no, I got to go. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now. I'll figure out how I'm going to fix the Psylocke. I'm glad it's not on licensed stock.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest fears is screwing up one of those cards.
I've done it on base inserts. It's like, screw it. It's only going to go with 3 fingers. No one's going to notice. Okay. Well, thanks so much for hopping on. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Same to you.
And yeah, do you have do you have anything up on eBay now? Anything you want to pimp?
Yeah, I've got a
Promote?
couple cards on eBay. There's a Wolverine, a Venom, and Mojo up there right now that I just posted today. And you can just search my name, Gordon Wills, and sketch, and it'll pop up. I may post a link to them in my Instagram bio. We'll see. But
Cool.
yeah.
Right on.
Mm.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in on this Fuck Up Friday. I'm gonna make it a thing. And we'll see you next time.
All right. See you later.
Stick around for a sec.
Okay.